Welcome back to KTN Friday Briefing. A lot of handshakes still going on. Nonini, it's like you've met him today, right now on set.
No, he's my boy.
He's your boy.
He's my boy.
All right, so let me introduce my guest. This is Nonini, of course. You know him. Yeah. And that is Lal Dagi. Now, Lal Dagi is quite a special guest anchor, honestly. He is Kenya's first deaf and mute rapper. He cannot hear and he cannot speak, yet he's a rapper. How cool is that? He's Lal Dagi and he's the interpreter Jack. Welcome to KTN. Lal Dagi, feel at home? Good. Communication here.
Yeah.
All right, now Nonini,
yes.
How did you meet Lal Dagi? Tell us a bit about him.
It's an interesting story, actually.
Yes.
Lal Dagi asked for me one day when he went to the office of the Youth Fund.
Yes.
He went to seek help from Bruce Odhiambo. Na akambia Bruce Odhiambo anaweza like work na Nonini. Alin describe.
Yes.
I'm a short guy. You know, so that's Nonini, and that's how it happened. Bruce called me to the studio.
Yes.
And boom, we're here today.
You're here today.
Yeah.
All right. So before even we move on, I want us to play part of that song. It's an amazing song. It's called "Story I'm a Champions."
Yeah.
It's a very beautiful song. Let's just have a bit of it, and then you can understand how Lal Dagi got to sing through Nonini.
I'll see you.
For a very long time, and one of my biggest moments or hobbies is making people's dream come true. At the Youth Fund, this quest to bring smiles to the youth was put to a real test when one day 24-year-old Lal Dagi, who is deaf and mute, walks to my office and says he wants to be a rapper. Biggest question and challenge is, how do you make a rapper out of a deaf and mute guy? Here's the story of a champion.
Yeah. Mucheki maisha yangu na nina furaha sana, na smile na shukuru jana kukazana. Looking back vile lingia kwa hii dunia, kama mtoto yote nzaliwa poa sikuwa yumia. Kama ni masikio nilikuwa nasikia poa, matamshi mdomo nilikuwa nazitoa. Oh my goodness, utaishi aje bila mother. By age 2 akuwa divorce na kwa gablanda. Age 5 nikakuwa mgonjwa tena sana. Ilikuwa time mob nikiwa mgonjwa nilirecover. Life ilipiga kona ilikuwa the same. Niliuliza mbona mambo ilienda this way. Siwezi ongea, bami ukusikiza na siwezi sikia, lakini kimiujiza na kuelewa na nakusikia, na sasa niko kwa studio booth na kuimbia.
Beautiful song, Story I'm a Champions.
Yeah.
That's Lal Dagi and Nonini. Now you've gotten to understand how they got to do it together.
Yeah.
Lal Dagi, how did you come up with that song? Is it, I mean, there's part of your life story there. What inspired you to write that song?
At first, when I was growing up, I had a dream. I thought about writing music, and my self-confidence was that I want to do music for the deaf and hearing. And for the first time, I was thinking I need just to write this song. So I wrote a story about my life. So I wrote the song, and then I kept it. And I went to the studio and I started looking around, who can help me, where can I get a studio that can record this music. So this song is from my heart, it's about my life. And so I was looking around trying to find a studio or a producer. So one day I met Bruce at the Youth Fund, and he asked me, you are looking for music, how will you do this music without a voice? So I told him, well, I can do the song. Many people can listen to this song and know about my story. And he asked me, of all the musicians in Kenya, who would you want to work with? I said, I want to work with Nonini. And that's how we started. And Nonini has worked with the Albino campaign and Color Kwa Face. So that's where I thought maybe is the one I should work with. And that's how we met and started.
Wow, beautiful story. I mean, so how has the experience been through, you know, when you walked into Bruce Athiambo's studio? I mean, how has the experience been?
At first, I didn't think about it as much, but the time I met Nonini at the reception, we started talking with Bruce and said, there are many skilled musicians out there, but there's no deaf musician. And there are many persons with disability who are musicians, but there's no deaf musician. So when I met Bruce, I thought maybe we can promote this song. So the first time I started singing with a group called Sign Media Kenya Limited with Jared and Kizito. And when we started, it was just little songs here and there, but we only sang to a group of people in church. But then with time, I got the confidence. By the time I was meeting Bruce, I had the confidence to give a testimony of my life and share it. I was nervous at first with the studio equipment and everything, but sitting down and thinking about the song, it was very easy to think about the lyrics and work together. So that's how we did it.
Amazing. Nonini, I mean, you're so excited about this. And when I invited you to come, you said you have to come with Lal Dagi.
Yeah.
I mean, how was it at first when he approached you, you know? Were you shocked?
When Bruce invited me to the studio, when I passed by, said hi to Akina Lal Dagi, I didn't know he cannot hear or speak. Because you see, you can't tell.
Yes, you can't actually tell. Yeah.
So when Bruce told me the story, I was baffled kidogo. I was like, okay. First question I asked, how will he hear the beat?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the beat.
The beat,
which is
very
important.
Then Bruce told me he can feel it.
Even
though, he can feel it. You know, sometimes you have the metronome, and if it's loud enough, he can feel it.
You can feel the beat.
Yeah, he can actually feel it.
Wow, amazing.
And it's a life-changing experience because I took his story, internalized it, and I had to bring it out on music. I've never done a project like that. It's so humbling. That day the studio session my studio session usually are just hyped. That day it was emotional to some level because I connected with it on another level.
Okay. Lal Dagi, I mean, where do you see yourself in the next few years, you know, especially right now that you've opened this enormous door to so many people who are, you know, experiencing the same thing you are, who cannot hear, cannot speak. How will this, you know, change your life in the years to come?
First, I think in the coming years, as we start, we are asking for different people to support us, and I would like the opportunity to meet with big CEOs like Bob Collymore of Safaricom or the president and his vice, just to let them know about this talent and share with them and talk to them about the things that we want to do. We want to go to the deaf schools with my sign, the sign group that we have, that we can go together to these schools to encourage deaf students to think about their skill, thinking about their abilities that they have, that they can achieve something, they can be successful.
Yes.
I want to meet the president and his deputy and tell them people with disabilities have talent, and they need encouragement, they need support from the society so that they can realize their full potential.
Okay.
Right now, they're not being encouraged, they're not being supported. We shouldn't neglect them. We need to give them equal opportunity, equal platform.
Wow. Lal Dagi, I mean, there's so many young people who are watching you and they're so inspired. What is it that you can tell them to make them feel that, you know, disability is not inability? Like you're here right now. No one would tell. And with a nice song like that one, I mean, you're such a big inspiration. So what is it that you would tell young people who are like you, you know, to go at it? What exactly would you tell them?
What I can tell people, parents who have deaf children, we shouldn't hide these children. We shouldn't think, well, maybe these children who have disability, we should keep them at home. No, we need to give them opportunity, show them to the people around you, teach them sign language, take them to school. As you do this, they'll realize their potential. As they grow up, they'll find their skill. Some of them are musicians. Some might be fearing being seen because of their disability, but we shouldn't neglect them. We should listen to what they have. They have a story. They have something. Some can't talk, can't walk, but they have a story. So they have emotional things they want to share. They have things from their heart. Just like Nonini showed me that support, the love, the ability to be together. That encouragement is what we need. So there are studios out there. Maybe their brothers and sisters or cousins are there. They need to encourage them. Go to a studio, record their music, or expose their talent.
Tears to my eyes. I mean, wow, this is so inspiring. Nonini, what have you learned, from this experience working with Dagi? What have you learned? Because as of now, I feel like, I'm learning so much from him and I'm taking in a lot. What have you learned this whole experience?
There's one thing that I also know, Jack, the interpreter.
Yes.
We've always been discussing a thing about redefining normal. Who said normal has to be me talking and voicing?
Yeah.
This is normal.
Very normal.
We're redefining normal. That's it. That's all I'm learning every day. With everything I'm learning to redefine normal. Not the stereotypes to mezoea.
Lal Dagi, is there any other artist who you'd like to work with in the future? International?
Personally, I have a dream, but I'll want to work with Nonini and maybe Octopizzo again. And internationally, I want to work with Khalifa.
Oh, wow.
So why do I choose these guys? Because they have been working with persons with disability. They've worked with deaf people before. And I have confidence that we'll be able to do good things. So the first time working with Nonini was good. They rap the same way. We have the same style of music, genge. So it's possible that I will want to work with Dr. Pizzo and Nonini and see what else we can have. So there are many deaf people who live in Nairobi who like music. So they want to see an inspiration. So as Lal Dagi, I want to encourage my deaf friends out there to keep fighting for opportunities to enjoy their ride. So we thank the group that I'm working with, the Sign Media. I want them to keep working and encouraging us. And then people out there in the society, I want to ask them to help us, support us, buy our music. And also with the president, I ask that he supports the persons with disability to realize their potential.
Okay. Well, there is a call to President Uhuru Kenyatta. You have to meet this young gentleman.